Hello and welcome to my tarot corner. I hope you still remember me. I missed you all very much. I have to say that it's not easy for me right now because, first of all, I've been trying to start this video for 3 times, and it's not easy. You know, English. I haven't done this for a week, so please excuse me for making mistakes. And so the past week was not easy as well. I started this video for 3 times already, and I've been talking about the current situation quite a lot. So I know that right now I am not going to talk about it a lot. I'm just going to say that, yeah, we lost a battle, but we haven't lost the fight. We're still fighting. I just want to say something to any of you who might have watched our Prime Minister talk on television. Don't believe a word he says, really, because he is a liar. He is a pathological liar, and you can just take for granted that 80% of what he says are lies. So just take it from me, 80% from what he says are proven lies. Okay, I will try to be more specific in my next video, if I'll be able to do another one today. And I will go right through to this reading. Okay, so this is about Harry, Meghan, and Balmoral invite. And I've been contemplating on how to do a reading about this, because I've been reading about Harry and Meghan having this open Balmoral invite, and then I read that this invite did not come from King Charles, so I'm not sure who did invite them. And then I saw a video by Neil Sean that claimed that the reason that they refuse or that they said that they're not coming is because they don't want to bring the children, which begs to the question of why are they refraining from bringing the children to the UK or bringing the children to anywhere. I mean, the only time that they ever took Archie on a plane, I think, was when they took him from the UK to Canada, and then from Canada to the US. And of course, many of you will say that Archie does not exist. But if you listen to Bookworm 2, she says that she knows 100% that Archie does exist. I believe her. And in my previous readings, I've done Lenoremand readings as well on Archie. I do get that he does exist. I do get that he has problems, but he does exist. So I just wonder why aren't they reluctant to bring the children, and is it really the reason why they're not bringing that they're not bringing the children, that they're not coming to the Balmoral because they are that they don't want to bring the children? So I was contemplating on how to do this, and then I decided that what I'm going to do is a freestyle reading, because I started contemplating all sorts of spreads, and I thought about doing a Celtic cross, and I decided that a Celtic cross is not going to give me all of the information that I want. So I'm going to do a freestyle reading, and what I mean when I say a freestyle reading is that I'm going to shuffle, I'm going to enter the question into the cards, I'm going to ask a question before I'm taking a card. Every time I take a card that I think that needs clarification, I will take another card to clarify it, and we will go on from there. Okay, so I'm using the LLEWLLYN tarot. This tarot deck is a classic. I don't have the box, so I just have the book and the deck itself. LLEWLLYN is a company that, as well as publishing tarot decks, also sells. There is a very big site. Sells tarot decks, books, everything that is connected to the esoteric and the paranormal, everything that is connected to tarot and psychics and things like that. So the LLEWLLYN site is really, really recommended, because when they have sales, it's really good sales. So I will put the link in the description box. And I will of course write the name of the deck as well. So, and this deck I'm using because it is based on Celtic mythology as well. Okay. So before I start, please take a few moments to read my full disclaimer in the description box. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such, may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. Okay, so let's start by clearing the deck. Okay. So, what is the truth behind the claims that Harry and Meghan have open invitation to Balmoral? Who has invited them to Balmoral? Is it King Charles? Is it someone else? Why are they coming to Balmoral? Why are they refraining from bringing the children to Balmoral or to the UK in general? Why don't they want the children to spend time with King Charles or the rest of the family? What is the truth behind the claim that Harry and Meghan have an open invitation to Balmoral? And why aren't they coming? Why Harry and Meghan are refraining from coming to Balmoral? And why don't they want to bring their children to the UK? Why don't they want their children to spend time with their grandparents, grandfather? Now, if any of you listen to Bookworm 2 or see her videos, she has published quite a few interesting bits of information about the children, about the way the children were created. Very interesting, I really recommend it. Okay, so first question, as I said, the truth about Harry and Meghan's open invitation to Balmoral. Is it true? Is it not? So what is the truth here? And what I'm getting here is judgment. Okay. So judgment, it's a card of change. It's a card of major change, but it's change that does not nullify what happened before. So what we're getting here is that Harry and Meghan invitation to Balmoral is connected to a very major change. So something has to change in a very big way. And as I always tell you, that this can be the image, you can see the image of the butterfly that is painful process, just like the process that the butterfly is going through when he is banging on the cocoon. This is exactly the process. Now what we see here is this tunnel in which either this person has to go through in order to get to the dead, or the dead need to go in order to get out of the tunnel to the light. But in any case, it is a transformation. It is a very big change. But in the judgment card, the transformation is not changing what happened before. So this will not wipe out what happened before. So this is not giving us a clear answer about Harry and Meghan's invite to Balmoral, so let's clarify it. So what does this card want to tell us? What is the clarification? And the clarification is the Five of Cups. Okay, so first of all, the Five of Cups is a card of despair, and the despair is not justified. And what it tells me is that there is no open invitation to Balmoral for the both of them. Because if there was an open invitation, then we would have had a better card. But there is probably an invitation for Harry. We have a single person here, a male, but a single person here. And the despair, as I said, is unjustified. Why is it unjustified? Because we have 3 cups that are spilled, 2 cups that are still upright, but the person here doesn't see the full half of the cup. He only sees the bad side. And this can be very much the situation in which Harry is right now. And another way of looking at this card is looking at this castle here that is in this desolation state. But this can be very, very much the state of where Harry is right now. He is unaware because he cannot see the bright side of his life right now. So he does have the option of going back to Balmoral, of going back to his family. He does have the option of going through this major change. But he's unaware of it because he's so engrossed in his despair. And this is a person who's unable to see the bright side of life. This is a person who is so desperate, who's in such a bad place that he's unable to see the bright side. So there is an open invitation for Harry. There is no open invitation for them as a couple. So this open invitation is more of an open invitation for Harry to come back to his family. This is not an open invitation for them as a couple. This is how I see that. Okay, so let's see what is going on with the children. Why aren't they bringing the children to the UK? Is there any truth behind this claim that they're not coming because they don't want to bring the children? And what I'm getting here is temperance. So first of all, this is another major arcana. And as I say, major arcanas are spiritual cards. They're not cards that are down to earth. And the temperance card is about faith. It's about belief. And it is badly aspected because it came right after the Five of Cups, which is not a very good card. So we need to look at the negative aspects of Temperance as well. But when we are talking about the children and about why aren't they bringing the children, we're getting the Temperance card. And the Temperance card, first of all, is telling us that we need to be, we need to be patient. We need to be temperate. We need to be, to understand that things will come out at the time that they need to come. And this is also about belief. So when it is in the negative, it does show us negligence, it does show us pessimism, it does show us a fear of failure and loss of control. And I believe that if we're asking why aren't they bringing the children, I believe that they are afraid of losing control. So I think that there is a question of losing custody of the children. And Meghan is afraid that if she brings the children to the UK, she will lose control over the children. This is what this card is telling us. There is this aspect of losing control when this card is negatively aspected. So I think that this is what she's afraid of, and this is why she's afraid of letting the children come to the UK. She's afraid of losing control over the children. So is there a possibility of losing custody over the children? Let's be more specific. And the answer is the Nine of Swords. So for a yes or no answer, the answer is no. But the Nine of Swords is a card of worry and justified worry. And this shows us that Meghan is worried about losing custody over the children. This card is telling us there is worry. There is very, very. If this was unjustified despair, this is a justified worry. So this is not only that she is worried because she thinks that she might lose the children. This is a justified worry. So there is a very tangible possibility that she might lose custody over the children if she brings them to the UK, and she's afraid of that, and this is why. Now pay attention, in this card we have a woman, here we had a man. Okay, so here we have a male person that is in despair, a male person that is desperate, but because he's not seeing the bright side. Here we see a woman who is in despair or that is very much afraid, but she's afraid because of real things. This is not fear of things that are not tangible. She is afraid of real things. Okay, so did King Charles issue invitation to Harry to come to Balmoral? And the answer is strength. So another major arcana. This is the third major arcana that we're getting. And major arcanas are not giving us yes or no answers. They are giving us some kind of message. And the message of the strength card is message of finding control. So it's another card of control. And this tells me that Charles wants to have control over everything that is going on. Charles wants to have control over the children. This is part of King Charles' attempt to get control, and this is Charles issuing the invite to Harry, wishing that Harry will bring the children and wishing to get control over the children by when Harry brings the children. So this is part of the plan. And Meghan realizes that, and this is why she's afraid of that, and this is why she doesn't bring, doesn't allow the children to come to the UK. This is why she doesn't want the children to be seen, to arrive to the UK. So this card tells us that Charles needs control. He wants the control. He needs that strength. He wants that control, and he's trying to gain that control. And this invite to Balmoral was an attempt to get that control. So this whole thing about the invite to Balmoral, it was an attempt. It was an attempt of King Charles to instigate a change to tempt Harry to come to England, to tempt him by telling him, come to Balmoral, to the place that you remember. But for Harry, Balmoral looks like a desolate place. So just look at how Harry remembers Balmoral. He does not remember it as he used to remember it. He remembers it as a desolate place because everything is distorted in his mind. So Charles issued the invitation hoping that he might instigate this process of change in Harry. Harry is too desperate to be able to see Balmoral as it was, to see the possibilities, to see the fuller side of the cup. And then we have the faith or the fear of losing control here. And the fear of losing control is mainly Meghan's, and she's afraid of losing control. And this is why she will not allow the children to come. And that fear is a real fear, and it is justified fear. It's not something that she's dreaming. She knows why she's afraid. She has good reason to be afraid. And Charles really does want to gain control over the children. Okay, so does Charles really know the truth about how the children were conceived? And the answer is the star. Wow, another major arcana. Okay, so another card that doesn't give us a clear answer, but I remind you one thing, that the star card has two sides of it. One side of the star card is about naive and nice, loving feelings. The other side of the star card is the Pandora side, the secret side of the star card. And this is, I think, the side that tells us that Charles is aware that there is a Pandora box here. Charles knows that there are secrets here. So this is why we got the star card. So maybe he's not aware of all of the secrets, but he is aware that there are secrets. He knows that things are not completely kosher. Now, the last question that I'm going to ask is William starting to realize or discover the truth about the children? And what I'm getting here is the Empress. Okay. Another major arcana. Just look at these cards. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas. Now, I have to tell you that I have been shuffling this deck for a long time because I already started talking and filming 3 times before, And while I was filming 3 times before, I was shuffling the deck, and I didn't start reading. I just shuffled and talked. And now I did shuffle again. So, and I have like 5 major arcanas and 2 very, very bad minor arcanas. So this is a very spiritual card, spiritual spread. And when we're asking if William is starting to learn the truth, and we're getting the Empress card. The Empress card is the mother card. And the mother card, the mother who gives everything, the mother who is giving birth, this is a yes answer. William is starting to, at least he's starting to investigate who is the mother of these children. He's starting to ask questions. Maybe he doesn't really know the answers, but he is starting to question. So William is starting to ask questions about who is the real mother of these children. This is why we got the Empress. So this is the spread. Okay, now the oracles. So let's start with a Lenormand. So the Lenormand is the Under the Rose. This is a very cute small deck, mini deck. So let's just shuffle it and see what card we get about. Okay, Balmoral, Harry and Meghan, Archie, Lilibet, King Charles, William, Balmoral, Harry and Meghan, Archie and Lilibet. Okay, we got 2 cards here, the child and the fish. Okay, so the child, we all know what the child is. And the fish is number 34. This is about money, it's about wealth, it's about property, it's about abundance, it's about water. It's also about addictions, alcohol, and so these are the things that the fish are about. So these 2 cards are coming out, but this is mainly about money and the child. So the children, childhood, but the child is also a symbol of new beginnings and innocence and naivety. But it's not a coincidence that we got the child here and we got the money, because as you know, surrogates cost money. So this is not a coincidence. Okay. The second oracle is the Energy and Spirit oracle, and this is advice for King Charles and for Prince William. What should they do about those children, especially if King Charles knows the truth and he's hiding the truth? Then what should he do? And if Prince William realizes the truth now, what can he do? So let's see what kind of advice can we give them. So let's clear the deck. Okay, so advice for King Charles and Prince William on dealing with unraveling the truth about Harry and Meghan's children. Advice for King Charles and William regarding unraveling the truth about Harry and Meghan's children. Okay, so what I'm getting here is peaceful presence, quiet mind, mindfulness. Interesting, because the message is that now is the time to let go of judgment, worry, the need for control, to take a deep breath and to choose to live in trusting heart. So it does tell King Charles that it's not the time to seek control, that it's time to leave the question and not to look for control. And maybe if he just leaves the question of control and and concerns himself with other things and regarding his son and the way to save his Harry and not the children right now, although I understand that he does care about the children, maybe he will be able to achieve more than he thinks that he will by gaining control. But this is what this card is telling him. Okay, now I'm using a deck that I used to use quite a lot and I haven't used for a long time. It's called the SYMBOLON. This is the pocket deck. The SYMBOLON has two size decks. It has the pocket size and the full size. So this is the pocket size, and this deck is unique in the way that the cards are well, they have there is no keywords, and after you get a card, you need to look it up by looking at the book, at the drawings in the book. Okay, so let's start by clearing the deck. And let's ask for a card to describe current situation regarding Balmoral invite, Harry and Meghan's children, and Charles and William's involvement. A card to describe Balmoral invite, Harry and Meghan's children, and Charles and William's involvements. Okay, so the card I'm getting is this card, so let's look it up. Okay, so this card is the card of the master and the pupil, and what it means, it's about sharing knowledge. So it says that in the end, each of us can be a master and can be a pupil. We all receive from one end and we hand out to the other. And we need this in order to remain, or the flow, to remain in the flow. So if we don't share the knowledge that we receive, then things are stagnant. And this could be very much a message to William and to King Charles, first of all, to realize that they need to find a way to share their own knowledge in order to find a way to save Harry. I don't know. So this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.